With Media Day coming and going, we found out a lot about the Utah Jazz's roster, more so from the outlook of the players and also just from what they expect from themselves and for their teammates. Thanks for tuning into the video. As always, it's your boy Wraith Hoops. Make sure to like the video so that the algorithm knows to push the content out to more viewers. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this one. That being said, this video I wanted to focus on John Collins' comments calling the team very egoless. And I thought that was very interesting because when you think of the Hawks, you think more so of a roster of guys that are in the city of Atlanta, which there's a lot to do out there, but it's a very star-studded city in the fact that it has a bunch of different sports teams, it has a bunch of different things going on. The fact that John Collins felt more comfortable and at ease after he was traded, and he claimed that he felt like he enjoyed being the new guy. He enjoyed being, in a sense, the rookie on the team and relearning staff members' names, relearning personnel, relearning players' names, getting to know people, getting to know the coaches. And I think that was a very interesting but important thing for him, especially coming off of the injury that he dealt with the previous season that hampered his ability to play up to his true potential, to be quite honest with you. Now, we do know he did end up shooting 29% from three last season, and his overall field goal percentage dropped significantly as a result of that, as well as just his general metrics. But now, after All-Star break, seeing that his percentage did jump to 37% on a solid number of attempts, and seeing that he's going to be in an entirely new city, an entirely new system, and really just with a bunch of guys that want to come together and play basketball, I think that he has the opportunity to really blossom this season. And I did have a separate video where I focused entirely on his whole thing, but I feel like it's very important just to focus on what he said about them being so egoless. The biggest difference I feel that this Jazz team experiences by comparison to the teams like the Atlantas and the New Yorks and the Lakers, it's a thing of they just feel so free. You have a lot of guys, and there is some sort of a pecking order because obviously Lauri Markkanen is coming off of having one of the greatest 25 point per game seasons from an efficiency standpoint the NBA's ever seen, and he looks to repeat, though there might be a few complications just because he did have some military service that he had to get under his belt for his home country in Finland, as well as playing on their FIBA national team. So he might not have had the proper rest and recovery that he might have hoped to originally have, but I think that as deep as this team is, they'll be able to cover him that first part of the season as he gets his body reacclimated to it. The main focal point, though, in my eyes, is if he's your main star and Lauri is expected to put up the numbers even just similar to what he put up last year, even if they're slightly better or slightly worse, I think that puts you in very good water simply off the strength of the fact that he's not a very selfish player. He's not a very outspoken player either. He just likes to play ball, and he finally found a home where he can be that focal point and effectively do what he does best and enjoy life while he does it. Add to that other players that aren't bad by any stretch of the imagination. You have a roster full of really good role players and emerging possible stars such as the Walker Kesslers of the world, and somebody looking to have a resurgent moment in his career with John Collins, and you have a recipe for success in my opinion. Now, of course, I would say they're at least 2 seasons away from being contender status, especially with the arms race going on in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference bolstering at the top. But I would say that it's reasonable to assume that if they get a solid veteran on their roster that can help just guide the younger players towards more success, particularly a guard, I think would be preferable to them. Their forwards are pretty comfortable. If they do keep Kelly Olynyk this year, that would be nice. But I do understand that it's likely that he does get traded for other teams that are looking for big man depth. Boston has really come up in a lot of trade talks, but I feel like it's reasonable to assume that this team has the sky as the limit for themselves. And John Collins being able to just feel comfortable to come into a new system, learn it, learn new people, learn an entirely new lifestyle, because the lifestyle outside of the game is also very important to take note of, because in Utah there's some attractions, but it's not nearly the glitz and glamour that cities like Atlanta have. And when you're John Collins and you were at one point the budding young star of a franchise alongside Trae Young, he had his pick of the litter as far as what he was doing in his off time. And now it's more of a thing where he's going to, in my eyes, be able to focus purely on basketball and have a few fun instances here and there and do other little things on the side. But he's not going to be consistently tempted into developing poor habits or continuing poor habits if he did manage to develop some while he was in Atlanta, because to my knowledge, there's nothing major that plagued him as far as off the court issues went. But if we understand it that way, then there's no reason to assume that he won't be able to continue that great streak and just become a better overall player because of it. But with that being said, go ahead and like the video so that the algorithm knows to push it out to more viewers. Go ahead and comment your thoughts down below. Subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Without any further ado, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you are on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning into this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.